Welcome to A Double-Edged Sword. This is a new series I'm starting which its primary focus is to review games. I'll be pointing out both the good and the bad from within a game. Everything in this video is based on my opinions, of course, and feel free to debate me and or agree with me in the comments below. In this episode we will be checking out Star Fox Zero on the Wii U. I do want to lace this video with the prefix that while I never played Star Fox 64 on the N64, I did play the 3DS remake. Disclaimer. Before we start, I want to say that in this series, I do not hand out review scores, and will instead just give a summary of my overall thoughts on the game. It is up to you to decide whether you like the game, or may like the game, based on the points I bring up in the video. Also, none of the footage used in this video is my own. It is either taken from a trailer, a preview, or from GameXplains. Bad. The controls. They are difficult to learn because they involve the player switching between looking at the gamepad and the TV, which feels awkward and unnatural. They put focus on flying on the TV and shooting on the gamepad using the gyroscope. It is hard to keep track of both. Good. The controls. At first, I didn't like them, but after a few hours, I got used to them, and they genuinely grew on me. The control scheme allows for a lot of flexibility, which the game occasionally takes advantage of, but leave it to Nintendo to pull off something like this. It also helps if you've played Splatoon, because the motion controls are similar in some ways. Good. The graphics. While they are nothing special, they look good and fit the situation. Most of the problems I have with the graphics are most likely a result of technical limitations, and overall didn't bother me. Bad. Length. The game is short. I wish there were more planets to explore. Good. Level design. Overall, I like the majority of the level design. Even though they are on familiar planets, they do different things on them. Bad. The gyro wing. During these sections of the game, the pace slows to a crawl, and the gyro wing controls always felt sort of off to me. Good. Difficulty. The game is genuinely difficult in some spots, which is kind of lacking in recent Nintendo games, not counting the supervillains that create Mario Maker levels. Good. The soundtrack. It's great when you can hear it. Bad. Sound effects. They are very loud, and sometimes even drown out the music. They also made this bizarre decision to only play the spoken dialogue through the gamepad speakers, which is weird, but at least the voice acting is good, with most of the original voice actors reprising their roles. Good. Wing damage. One of my biggest killjoys within Star Fox 64 was wing damage, and I'm so glad they removed it in this game. They also changed it so you no longer lose your laser upgrades when you get wing damage, and instead just lose them at the end of each level. Good. Star Fox 64. The game isn't a remake of Star Fox 64, which I am glad. It's more like a reimagining. It takes core ideas from 64 and expands upon them in a multitude of ways. Bad. The story. It is very similar to Star Fox 64, as if it was a remake. Basically, you play as Fox McCloud, and you're hired by General Pepper to go track down Andross. This is especially prevalent in the opening stage Corneria, which plays very similar to the N64 version, even down to the dialogue. Good. Amiibo. If you use the Fox amiibo, it makes your R-Wing look like the R-Wing from the SNES game, and it even changes the music in Corneria to match the SNES version. If you use the Falco amiibo, it changes the color of your R-Wing and makes it so that you take 3 times more damage per hit, while also increasing the amount of damage you dish out. Bad. Modes. There's no battle mode. Good. The multiplayer. It is an interesting beast, because you have one player actually controlling the R-Wing with a Wiimote and or Pro Controller, while the other player uses the gamepad to shoot. Overall, I did like it because it is easier to manage your individual roles and allows for more focus on your specific actions. Good. Completionists. The game has a good chunk of bonus content in the form of branching paths, mission rankings, and 5 medals to collect on each level. Bad. Replayability. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Star Fox 64 worked like a campaign, right? Where you went from one end of the map to the other, being unable to go back and replay completed levels. This was done to encourage multiple campaigns and exploration, but this game doesn't have that, because at any point you can go back and play a previous level to find its secret paths and whatnot, which takes away a huge chunk of the replayability. Overall, even though there were many negative aspects to Star Fox Zero, I did find myself enjoying the game. Most of the negative points I had towards the game didn't hold much weight for me personally, but I completely understand if someone is unable to get past any of the larger problems, like the controls. But if you give it enough time and have an open mind, you may end up enjoying it. At the end of the day, I did enjoy my time with Star Fox Zero, even if it was a struggle at first. I do recommend Star Fox Zero if you're already a Star Fox fan, or if you want to get into Star Fox after playing as Fox in Smash Bros.